Drop it.
Hello, once again, welcome to our e-learning for today, and our topic will be resources and economy of the West. Okay, so let's start with the things to do for today. You're going to watch this YouTube video patiently from start to finish, and you're going to do the worksheet for today, and finally we will have the Socrative assignment on Wednesday. Let's discuss the main lesson right now. Let's go to the discussion. Now we're going to discuss the resources and economy of the West. So let's start reading. Build on what you know. If you were going to make a movie, where would you do it? What conditions would you look for? Many filmmakers choose the West. So let's go to the using resources. The main idea here is that Westerners have found ways to use their land, climate, water, and minerals. So let's read the first paragraph. The West has many natural resources. Farmers use the fertile soil and warm climate to raise many crops. Some crops, such as pineapples, avocados, and peas, are in great demand in other regions. Agriculture creates many jobs, and not just on farms. So when we're talking about agriculture, this is the business of farming. So let's continue. People work in processing, selling, and shipping food. People sell and repair farm equipment and conduct research on agriculture. So I'm going to summarize this later on. Let's continue. So here in the first paragraph, the main topic is the fertile soil and the warm climate. Let's go to the second one. And the focus of the second one are huge forests. In the West, create jobs. People use trees for wood and paper. Thousands of workers cut lumber in sawmills. Other workers use this wood to make buildings and other products. The third paragraph is all about the bodies of water, including oceans, rivers, and lakes. So let's read. Oceans, rivers, and lakes are another important part of Western life. Workers in the fishing industry bring seafood from coastal waters. Many more people fish, swim, and sail for fun. So let's summarize this first page right now. So this is the summary of the first page. We're going to discuss about the natural resources. So first we're going to do the soil and warm climate. And this soil and warm climate provide the following. So number one, we have crops. So examples, we have pineapples. As you can see here, we have avocados. Okay. And finally, we have peas. Okay. So in crops, the soil and warm climate are providing the Western people, Westerners, these different types of crops, just like pineapples, avocados, and peas. Let's continue. Also, with the good soil and warm climate, provide jobs like in agriculture. So people in the West are actually not only producing crops, but also are processing food. Okay, so they are processing food. So as you can see here, in letter B, they are also selling food, okay, in the market. So they're selling vegetables and fruits, something like that. And if they are not processing or selling, some people are actually into transporting of these goods, or what we call shipping. Okay. And finally, soil and warm climate also provide, letter D, sell and repair farm equipment. Okay, so here you can see the picture of a technician in the West who is selling and repairing this farm equipment over here. Okay, so let's go and discuss the second paragraph, which is automatically talking about huge forests. So the huge forests in the West, they provide the following. A, jobs, again, for woodcutters and wood cutting company, something like this in this picture. Okay, so these people in the West, they are getting jobs and getting paid because of cutting a lot of trees. Next, wood and paper. As you can see, they are producing also a lot of wood and paper to be used in the market. And also we have a lot of sawmills. So sawmills are industries for wood cutting, as you can see over here. So we have a factory of cutting wood, so we call that sawmills. Okay, so that's for huge forest. Now let's go to the last paragraph in the first page, bodies of water. So we have oceans, rivers, and lakes provide the following. Okay, fishing industry. So because of oceans, rivers, and lakes, they are providing the Westerners the fishing industry. Bodies of water are providing seafood for Westerners. And we have also activities. People enjoy sailing. So people enjoy, letter A, sailing. Letter B, we have swimming. All right. And also, last but not the least, fishing. So these are the activities that they do: sailing, swimming, and fishing. So that's the summary of our first page. So here in the second page, you can see this map: government-owned land in the West. So again, we're looking at the map of United States of America, and we are looking at the map of the West. So again, we have 13 states. We have 11 states here in the east of the Pacific Ocean, and we have Alaska and Hawaii. That's 12 and 13. So we discussed before that the West is made up of 13 big states. So as you can see here, government-owned lands in the West. So for the lighter green, we have U.S. government land. So as you can see here, if it's a lighter green, it is owned by the government of US, so it's a public land. And if it's a green one, it's national parks. Okay, so it's still owned by the government, and it is managed by the government of USA. So you can find here different national parks. So I'm going to explain to you and show you some pictures about these national parks right now. So I'm going to show you right now some pictures of the following national parks in the west of USA. So first, I'm going to show you the Olympic National Park. It's over here, and this is a very beautiful place to visit. So Olympic National Park. Next, we have also the Crater National Park. So it's a very big crater, and it's a very beautiful park actually. It's Crater Lake National Park, which is found in Oregon. And by the way, Olympic National Park is in Washington. And next, we have also the Yosemite National Park. It's a lot of big mountains over here. Okay, so many people who are very good in hiking and mountain climbing are actually visiting Yosemite National Park. If you want to see big trees, actually, you can go to Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Park over here. So you will find a lot of sequoia trees over here, which are very big trees. Okay, so that's the Glacier National Park over here. So it's called Glacier because of a lot of glaciers and ice over here. So it's a very beautiful park. So even if we hear negative things about the USA, the natural resources of the US is so beautiful. Okay. Next, we have also this Yellowstone National Park. Okay, so this place is actually acidic, but they have a lot of hot springs over here. If you want hot springs, you can visit Yellowstone National Park. Okay. Next, we have also the Zion National Park, which is canyons and some rocky mountains. Okay, so those are some examples of national parks that are government owned in the West. So let's continue reading this page right now. So here, movies and mines. Other industries depend on the West's climate. Aircraft companies came west because of the fine flying conditions. The movie industry came to Los Angeles because of the pleasant climate. Many tourists visit the West to enjoy the scenery and outdoor activities. So in this first paragraph, you can see that most industries in the West are basing from the West climate. So we have aircraft companies, we have the movie industry, and we have tourism, or many tourists visit the country. So let's continue reading. The West contains many mineral resources. Arizona and Utah supply much of the nation's copper. Western mines also produce gold, uranium, and coal. So I'm going to show you pictures of copper right now here. So copper is an example of a metal, and this is used for electrical wirings. We have also gold. I think you know what's gold. Gold is for used for most of the time jewelries. Uranium is a very unstable element or metal, and it is used for nuclear reaction, for nuclear energy. And finally, we discussed before what is coal. So people work in mines to dig these minerals from the ground. Others work in industries that make products from the minerals. Let's continue. The US government owns more than 600 million acres of land in the West. It has created national parks to preserve some areas. So to preserve means to restore or to save some areas. A national park is an area set aside by the federal government. Examples include Glacier, Yellowstone, and Grand Canyon. So this is what we discussed a while ago. This Glacier, Yellowstone, and Grand Canyon are national parks of the West. Let's continue discussing about the industries. Mining, logging, and livestock companies lease or rent some public land. So the government lets them use the land resources. They set rules for the use of public lands. People who own land privately can use it as they choose, as long as they obey the law. So I'm going to summarize this page right now in some PowerPoint presentations over here. we're going to discuss the industries in the West. Okay, so here these industries are based on natural resources, which means that they directly need natural resources in order for them to start. Okay, so first we have the climate. Okay, based on climate, we have aircraft companies. Number two, movie industry. So here they are making a lot of films or videos or movies because of different backgrounds and climate over here in the West. And number three, there's a lot of people who's visiting the West, which we call the tourism industry. They also do mining. So we have discussed that, the gold, uranium, copper, and coal. Okay. And number three, logging. So they're cutting a lot of trees because of their huge forest. Okay. And finally, livestock, which means they are doing farming and they are focusing on producing a lot of milk, dairy, and cows, beef, or meat. Okay. So these are the industries in the West. So I'm going to explain to you right now what is the difference between a public land and a private land. So here, first we discuss what is a public land. So public land is owned by the government. So you are very free to roam, fish, hunt, walk, or hike, so like national parks. So private land is here, as you can see in the picture, you are not allowed to go in. So it's you are not permitted. So no trespassing. So owned by individuals and they are private properties. So once you go inside and this is not your own, the people who own this place might report you to the police. So these are the difference between the public land and private land. So let's continue reading on the third page, the West economy. Main idea, workers in the West make specialized products. So not all industries in the West are based on natural resources. So in the second page, we discussed about companies and industries based on natural resources. Now, for this one, these following businesses are not based directly in natural resources. So they are not using directly natural resources. So many Western businesses involve doing research or providing services. These industries include banking, communications, and health services. Technology is important in the Western economy. This is especially true in some Southwest and Pacific states. In California's Silicon Valley, many companies research, develop, and make computer products. Seattle, Washington is a center for the computer software industry. Designing and building aircraft is another leading industry. So as you can see here, the industries that are not based on natural resources are following. So we have banking, communications, health services, we have the production of computer products, we have aircraft, and designing and software industries. So you can see all the industries that are not directly based on natural resources in this table here. So you can see it here, banking, communications, computer software, health services, and transportation. Let's continue reading. Many of these companies specialize. Specialization means that a business makes only a few goods or provide just one service. For example, a company might make one computer part, not whole computers. So as you can see here, specialization means making few goods only. So at least maybe one or two or three products only, and providing only one service. So you focus only on one service, not three or four services. Okay? So by focusing on one part, the business can become more expert at making that part. It can make and improve its product at a lower cost. Specialization helps make possible the production of more goods and services. It also creates relationships between companies. So you can see here from this sentence up to the last sentence, you can see the importance of specialization. So we're going to summarize this paragraph right now. So I'm going to summarize with you right now the service industries in the West. So these are the industries in the West. They are not natural resources based. So they are not directly getting the importance from the natural resources. So what are they? First, we have banking. Okay, so banking, they don't actually directly use natural resources. Number two, we have communications. So the use of your cell phone, laptops, internet, the web page, whatsoever, they are communications. Your YouTube, media, whatsoever, they are communication. Health services, so I think you know what's health services, so important in these times of troubles. Number four, we have computer software. So computer softwares are the things that you use in your computers or your phones also. So the games that you use, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, emails that you use, Gmail, whatsoever, YouTube also. as applications are what we call computer softwares. And finally, number 5, transportation. Again, these are the following service industries in the West: banking, communication, health services, computer software, and transportation. So I'm going to discuss right now what is specialization. So specialization, it makes, so the company or the business makes only few goods or provides only one service. So I'm going to give you an example. One example is the Apple company. So the Apple company is an example of specialized business because they only sell a few goods. So we have only 3 here, okay? And they provide only one service, and their one service is they're providing technological softwares only and technological materials or tools, just like phones, computers, and iPads. So they are producing only few goods and providing only based on technology. So specialization is that when a business only makes few goods and provides only one service, so they focus only on one thing. For example, Apple company produces technological products. Okay, so let's continue reading. Let's go to the last page. Skilled and unskilled workers. Many industries hire skilled workers. A skilled worker is someone who has received special training or education. For example, many people in the computer industry have advanced computer training. Skilled workers usually receive higher pay or maybe salary than unskilled workers. Let's go to unskilled workers. An unskilled worker is someone who does not need special training or education to do a job. An example is a laborer. So to explain more about this paragraph, I'm going to show you some explanation over here. So let's discuss the difference between the skilled versus unskilled workers. So here I'm going to discuss skilled workers. So skilled workers are the following. So they have education. So they went to schools for at least 16, 20 years of their lives, or let's say 5 years, and they have special training. So for example, like doctors, teachers, engineers, and architects. So these people over here, like chefs, they have special training, like dentists, like engineers, like consultants for programming, for example, lawyers. So they have education and they have special training for a lot of years. So these people, what we call skilled workers. Okay, so let's go to number 2, unskilled workers. So unskilled workers are the following. No need for formal education or training. So as you can see over here, like cook. So they don't need to go to schools or have special training for cooking. Or laborers, cleaners, and carpenters. So as you can see over here in this picture, they are different in terms of education, training, and payment or salary. However, both skilled and unskilled workers are very important in any economy of the world. The mountain states contain fewer urban areas and less industry than the Pacific and Southwest states. However, there are some technology jobs in mountain states. For example, in Colorado has an active industry making medical equipment. So in Colorado, they are making medical equipment as their technology. So many people throughout the West work in service jobs, such as healthcare or construction. So most people in the West, they are actually working in healthcare services or in construction. In Alaska and Hawaii, many people work for the government. So as you can see in this picture, let's go to the lesson summary. Farming, logging, and mining industries depend on the West's natural resources. Natural resources help the tourism industry too. Most of the West technology industries depend on skilled workers, not natural resources, as we have seen over here. Why it matters? Industries and consumers across the country depend on the West's natural resources. Lesson review. So I want you to read and revise everything here so that you will be preparing yourself for the socrative task. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So right now I'm going to show you the worksheet that you're going to answer, and I'm going to show you the reminders. So let's see the worksheet for today. Let's open it up. So this is your worksheet for today. I'm going to ask you to and require you to answer here. So we have question 1 up to question number 8, and we have A, B, C, D for vocabulary. So we have 8 questions and 4 vocabulary words that you can copy from the book. Okay, so you know what to do over here. So answer based on the pages. So for number 1 and number 2, they are found in page 256, and so on and so forth. I think you know what to do over here. And we have the pages of your book here. If you don't have the book, you can go to the last pages. And if you are actually sending the answers to me, kindly again delete these pages before sending it to me. So remember this note, delete these book pages in the next pages if you don't need it, or when you're going to send your answers to my email. All right, let's go back. And the reminders, remember that you're going to do your Socrative task on Wednesday. Okay, so I think that's the end of our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. This is Mr. Johnson signing off. Thank you and goodbye.